Family in Chicago shot twice. Two brothers dead and a teen is in a coma. Check it out.
Liz, we have very little, we've had
Cash
very
App
little luck
shortly.
trying to get a hold of the local police department in Durango, Mexico. So there really isn't much that we can confirm regarding the circumstances surrounding this shooting, except what has already been publicly disclosed. What we can tell you is that there's a 14-year-old boy from Chicago who is fighting for his life down there after being shot in the head while visiting relatives 3 days ago. Taken during much happier times, this photo shows Chicagoan Vicente Peña Jr. on vacation with his teenage son. Today, Peña is dead, along with his brother, Antonio Hernandez, while his son, who turned 14 yesterday, is fighting for his life in a Mexican hospital.
He would have been celebrating his birthday with his family in Mexico, but instead, he's in a critical state from a gun wound that was inflicted to his head.
According to Mexican authorities in the northern state of Durango, Hernandez, Peña, his son, and the 22-year-old relative who was a local resident
I never been
were
to
found
Durango.
Friday night next to their vehicle by the side of a highway with gunshot wounds to the head. Only the boy survived. Speaking via phone from Mexico, his grandmother said this in Spanish. His grandfather told me he was beaten up, so we think he tried to put up a fight with the bad guys. He was shot in the head. They performed surgery, but he is in a coma. Their priority now, she says, is getting back home to Chicago as quickly as possible. Local activist Julie Contreras is working with them to make that.
As bad as y'all want to make these cities out to be inside of the United States of America, and they are bad. I mean, South Side in Chicago, the Bronx, Oakland, it's a lot going on. But I will tell you that it is nowhere close to what it's like outside of the United States of America. Go down there to Durango in Mexico. Go down over there to Haiti and see how it play out. See how tough you are.
That happened.
His little brother, who just learned of the whole situation. So it's very heart-wrenching. And currently this family is living a nightmare. And we just want to bring them home so they can be safe.
Now, according to authorities, the family was traveling in a black GMC Yukon with Illinois plates when this happened. But at this point, we've received no information to...
Wait. So y'all drove down there? So y'all drove from Chicago to Mexico and y'all was way deep inside of Mexico? Yeah, this sounds a little bit fishy personally. I'm not just going to take it on its surface. Don't want to see anybody losing their life, but definitely seem a little bit fishy. Crazy. Rio says you be making it seem like it's third world countries in these cities. It do be feeling like third world countries in some of these cities inside of the United States of America. Absolutely, it be feeling like third world countries. It's some people that ain't never really left their hood before outside of just going to school. Anyways, in addition to that, 2 women was found shot to death inside of a suburban home in Chicago with the children inside. Check it out.
We want to update you now on the developing story in South Suburban Park Forest. Police there say 2 women were found dead inside a home. Officers called to that home in the 300 block of Miami Drive last night. Just today, we've learned the pair were a mother and daughter. NBC5's V. Wynn reports.
Investigators returning to this Park Forest neighborhood trying to track down witnesses 1 day after 2 women were found shot inside the suburban home. Neighbors left stunned by what happened.
This block is normally not no violence or any type of domestic or any type of craziness, so it was just a different scene.
This man who lives right across the street didn't want to be identified, fearing for his safety. Says he didn't hear the gunshots last night, but saw the police activity.
I just seen them kind of like use the little battery thing to knock down the door, and they entered the home through the window and opened up, and I saw a woman come out on the ambulance.
According to Park Forest police, officers responded to a call of someone shot last night inside this home in the 300 block of Miami Street. Cell phone video shared with NBC5 shows the response. Officers made their way in and found 2 women shot. One of them died at the scene, the other pronounced at the hospital. Neighbors say they were mother and daughter.
I still can't believe, you know, she gone and her daughter, and it's senseless because, you know, 2 women, 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 2 That shouldn't happen.
The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office identified the victims as 30-year-old Sabrina McCain and 51-year-old Lillian Brown. We learned 2 children were also found unharmed inside the home. This young girl, with permission from her mom, told us she would often play with the young boy, believed to be 8 or 9 years old.
I just feel bad for him.
It's unclear who made the 911 call. This neighbor says he saw the 51-year-old victim just yesterday morning.
She's normally a quiet lady, always tending to her yard.
While police continue to investigate the motive, neighbors are praying for the families of the victims and the young children caught in the middle of the violence.
Usually when this type of stuff happens, is somebody that most violence is perpetuated by people that you already know. So usually if you see something happening inside of a home, I mean, unless it's just something that's random, like somebody following you home from a store, or you know what I'm saying, somebody trying to set you up or something. 99% of the time it's from somebody that you know. So the first thing that you got to start looking for is who was the friends, who was the family, who was the boyfriend, who was the husbands, who was they cheating with, who was out here, who did they get in with last? Go and pull the reports of any police reports or domestic violence and all of this stuff. Most of the time, it is somebody that you know that is perpetuating the crime against you, which falls back into my original conversation of making sure that you stay away from these people that are dusty. When you are dusty, you attract dust. And then when more dust come on you, then that's when you see the violence happen against you. It's always somebody that you know that is watching you that'll do you dirty. And those are the ones that then wind up becoming your worst enemies. You know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, Target shoppers is just check out the story. I mean, I'm tired of describing these people.
This remains a very active scene here. I'll show you live over my shoulder what I'm talking about. You can see the ongoing investigation just outside of that Target store. 2 security guards here were shot. The search now on for the suspect. And let me give you an exclusive look right now at the man the LAPD says that they are looking for. This is a photo from surveillance video here at the plaza. Investigators say he's believed to be around 25 years old. He ran from the scene, but police are hoping that the public will be able to help track him down thanks to that photo. Now,
how are these people so easily able to get away? How are people so easily able to get away? You know, when I pull up to a stoplight, and sometimes it just be like a spidey sense that's tingling in me and say, Anton, don't run that stoplight. You know me, I don't like to stop at stoplights too long. I'll be like, I get a little antsy. You know what? I'll just take the ticket if I get pulled over. Sometimes my spidey senses tingle, and I'll be like, you know what? I just think I'm about to get pulled over if I do. I go past the stoplight. Once it turns green, the light turns green, I'll start driving, and it'll be a police officer literally directly sitting on the side of the street waiting for somebody to run a stoplight. I can't blink without it being somebody that be like, Anton, oop, I knew you was doing something you wasn't supposed to do. These people be killing whole people. They be shooting inside of whole public spaces and malls that have surveillance, security guards, shoppers everywhere, and they just be getting away. And then they got to go and find them and hunt them down, and they be hanging out at their auntie house. I don't understand that junk. That is so weird to me, bro.
I'll just take a look at the frantic scene. Just moments after the gunfire erupted, paramedics rushing to treat the 2 injured security guards, taking them to the hospital. We're told at least one of them is in critical condition. All of this happened just before 9 here at 7th and Fig Plaza in downtown LA. It's unclear if the security guards were trying to stop the gunman or how the encounter unfolded. Witnesses, though, say it was an all-out gun battle.
We were actually in line just waiting to pay for our items when we heard the shootout take place outside. Extremely loud, extremely traumatic, and we all just started running towards the back. We were guided by one of the sales reps, or one of the cashiers, I should say.
They be having whole shootouts.
But extremely traumatic. We heard several rounds go off, and we just pretty much ran towards the back and just left our items in the cart and just tried to do the best that we could to get to safety. People were crying at the moment, screaming. Everyone was just, some people were running towards the aisles. Some people were hiding towards the clothes. Everyone just started running and scattering in different directions.
Again, the investigation.
Look at that. They got 2 women with their hairs in buns. 2 women with their hair in buns as the police officers over there in LA. I see why the criminals get away because ain't nobody scared of y'all. Listen, the minute that I see a woman police officer come up to me, I'll be thinking to myself, Mrs. Officer, Mrs. Officer. Wee, 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 wee. Yeah, when I get up, I'll be thinking, the first thing I see when I see a female police officer is I start thinking about the Lil Wayne song, Bobby Valentino, Mrs. Officer. That's what I think about when I see a lady. I don't think of myself like, oh man, I'm in trouble. I be thinking to myself, wee, 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 wee. Yeah. When I get up, I think about that. I don't look at lady cops and be like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I'll be thinking to myself, Lil Wayne, the Lil Wayne song just started playing in my head. Anyways, let's continue.
Continuing, one of the guards, we were told, in critical condition. Authorities trying to figure out exactly how all of this unfolded. But more importantly, right now, they are trying to find that gunman. Here is another exclusive look at his photo. He is described as a white man with curly hair, as you can see, dressed in that dark sweatshirt, believed to be around 25 years old. Authorities certainly hoping that someone in the public will be able to identify him and will call the LAPD immediately. Back here at the scene, this is expected to be an active scene for quite some time as they continue their investigation.
Shout out, yeah, if y'all see him out in the streets, y'all go ahead and call the police and get him arrested. Shout out to my lady cops. Shout out to the lady cops in the streets. Hey, chat. Chat. What do y'all think when y'all see a female officer? What do y'all think when y'all see a lady officer? Doing the buck in the latest drop. I got stopped by a lady cop. She got me thinking I could date a cop. Cause the uniform fit so tight. She read me my right. She put me in the car. She cut off all the lights. She said, I have the right to remain silent. Now I got a hollering, sounding like a siren, talking about wee, 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 wee. When y'all think about lady cops, tell me now, that's gonna be in y'all heads now. That's gonna be in y'all heads now. So every time that you see a female cop, that is the thing that's gonna come into y'all heads.